And we're live. Nice. No, it's not that many people in chat, but I guess takes a while to build up. I guess.
It's the beginning, man. Don't worry, they'll drip in.
I know they always drip in. I've done this for a while. Hey, Fierce.
Fierce, apathetic black queen. That's a god tier name if I have ever heard.
Hmm. So I guess we are kind of late on some news as of late. I'm pretty sure what was it last? It was either last Monday. When was the Oscars? Was that Sunday?
All right. What I hear, it isn't bad, but I'm gonna have to speak louder. So, yeah, I just don't want to repeat of the last podcast where it sounded like I'm on a different continent, guys. I swear you can hear me. So alone, can you hint to our audience and tell them of any projects you're currently working on that they might be interested in?
Projects I'm working on?
Yeah, any videos coming up, like analysis or anything like that?
Currently not at the moment. Any highlights right now that I'm doing, or any other stuff for any like the James Bond stream is still like postponed as of late due to current schedule. But I might like try to find a way to work around that. I've also been thinking about doing a kind of a follow up to the Just Some Guy stuff, just do it in video format. But I still need to script it out. So, well, we'll see how that turns out.
Remember, guys, if you like this podcast, make sure to like. Can't fucking do it. Oh god. How do people do that? Like unironically, stare directly into camera and says, "Please like, comment, and subscribe, and become part of the Descent Club." Like, dude, that's beyond fucking cringe.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, the Oscars was this last Sunday, so I was wrong. Okay, I thought it was Monday, but then I was like, no, that's not what happened. But I was like, okay,
I was like, the Oscars happened.
yeah, it was this Sunday. I was just wondering what I was just trying to remember which day it was. I had to check my calendar. That's what I had to do. Yeah, call sign. It was Sunday night. Yep. Fierce Will Smith equals Will Smith. Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, well, what's the interesting thing about that is that at the beginning he seemed to be, in on the joke.
Yeah,
What changed?
it was Jada. She didn't look like she liked it at all, and it was quite clear. Well, and I think other people point this out, and even Jim Carrey pointed this out and said there's way more to this, and it's like definitely like that open marriage between Will and Jada is definitely like getting to him, like without a doubt.
Yeah. You know, I can't say I know Will Smith because I don't have him up on speed dial, but from what I hear, he seems to be a pretty decent guy. He just has an incredibly shitty marriage.
Mm, I don't know about that. It's like whenever you see like people in Hollywood like argue or fight, or when you see like leaked audio stuff like that, that's real Hollywood right there. It's like they're not good people. They're generally terrible people. So like these are the same guys that cover for Weinstein for many years, and many of them are on Epstein's flight logs, including Will. So generally not the type of people to act all like prim and proper and stuff like that. It's those small moments where you see the real Hollywood underneath the surface. Chad?
Yeah,
It sounded
yeah, I'm
like you.
here.
It sounded like you cut off there for a second. That's
Nah, I'm here. I'm just drinking my coffee.
okay. All right. But yeah, the Oscars was shit anyway. Like, it was definitely on its way being like lower than last year's, or like the last one that happened. It was definitely clocking around like 9 million, which is like the lowest it's been. Like you look check now, you can see that the Oscars like ratings nowadays is definitely the second lowest. Obviously, it got a spike because of that one, because of the little slap that happened on live television.
Yeah.
So that definitely like boosted, but
Mm.
like not for how much. What will be interesting is see what happens next year, and see if they try to like do something, try to recreate this, because you know they're desperate. Which honestly, I don't know if they even know their audience that well, because the reason why they're decrepping so much is because they've been their stuff is complete garbage now. I mean, it's been garbage for a while, but it's just been getting worse and worse.
Yeah. I don't have anything to add. That is basically the truth. By the way, did you see Nicolas Cage is making his own universe called Cageverse?
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah. He's playing himself in a bunch of movies, and they're all connected to him.
I know he plays himself in that one film with Pedro Pascal. Didn't know he does it. He's doing it in more movies.
Yep. He's doing it again. It's going to be a whole universe.
Weird.
Nicolas
That sounds
Cage
interesting.
starring in the Cageverse. It'll at least be interesting. One second, I got a calling.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I'm pretty sure most of us kind of wish that Ricky Gervais would have been there. Wonder how different it would have turned out. And I'm reading this thing, I have it pulled up on my end. Ricky Gervais mocks Oscars, reveals how he would have opened the show if he were hosting. And most people will remember the Golden Globes monologue back a couple years ago, where he basically told Hollywood to shut the fuck up and that they're terrible people and they are no business to lecture the public, which kind of wish they took that to heart, honestly, because it's quite clear they didn't listen to him. Ricky Gervais on his Twitter. I start with hello. I hope this show helps cheer up ordinary people watching at home. If you're unemployed, for example, take some comfort in the fact that even if you had a job, your salary probably wouldn't be as much as that goodie bag of actors that have been given. Ouch. Look out, I see people from all walks of life, every demographic under the sun. Except poor people, obviously. Fuck them. He added. I'm proud to announce that this is the most diverse and progressive Oscars ever. Looking out, I see people from all walks of life. No, oh, okay, so I just said that. Okay, so he just quote tweeted that. Gervais would go on to reveal what he would finish his speech for, revealing it be my career. What would you
Hello?
finish with? My career. I'm reading from article.
I can see that. I just came by. What's up?
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, what did I miss?
I'm not missing much. We're just talking about the Oscars.
The fuck cares about the Oscars? Nobody gives a shit about the Oscars.
Will Smith,
Yeah,
the
yeah, okay,
smack.
he punched Chris Rock. What else? I know his whole wife and her affairs, but other than that, that's that. Nobody gives a shit about the Oscars. Because I'm damn sure none of us watching, or even you alone, sat down and started watching the Oscar,
Yeah, you're not
right?
wrong.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I only like clocked in just for that one like segment, and it was already like on YouTube. Like the moment I
Yeah.
heard the news, it was already on YouTube, so I already like clocked in just for that one
Anything else,
minute,
just
and
nobody
then
else gives
just
a fuck.
yeah, it's like you go back and you like try to watch it. It's exactly what you expect. It's no different than last year's. It's just garbage pandering and them obviously crapping on the Florida bill. Them just saying gay
Wait,
multiple times. Amy Schumer is terrible as usual. The other people are terrible
wait,
as
what the
usual.
fuck is up with the Florida bill? What was that about?
It's basically a bill. The Don't Say Gay bill is basically a bill to pass to keep teachers from teaching like level third graders and from like sexual stuff.
Oh, so
That's
of course, just don't teach elementary school kids, about the birds and the bees, especially gay stuff, before, they're mentally prepared for that. And they
you're
start
not.
calling
Yeah,
that homophobic,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. And
What
because
the fuck
the
has
name of the
happened
bill,
to,
the name of the bill
like,
also.
the Florida Act? Just about Florida, and what the fuck is up with these people? Like, first, like, if I remember correctly, they were a bit more reasonable, and now you just say a word, not even a syllable, against them, and they're just gonna go, you want us to die, right? You want us to get shot in the field, right? You want us to die.
Yes.
Like, how did they go from reasonably thought well-being human, well-adjusted humans who just have, you know, have chosen or have been that way for God knows how long, and they just want to live their life in peace and like the others, to everyone has to be like this. Fuck you, straighties. You know what I'm talking about, that usual Twitter dribble.
Yeah.
How did this happen? Beyond me.
Yeah.
Like, could you explain what the fuck happened for them to just devolve into this? Like, power gone to their head? Because I
Yeah.
feel that's the only thing that could have caused this. Like, just, I'm not talking about all gay people, of course. I'm just, you know what I'm talking about. The especially loud ones. The terminally online ones.
Yeah. The
Alone?
Twitterati's. Yeah.
Yeah, especially those guys. Like, what caused them to become like this?
I would assume a combination of college usually. That and it being forced like on the public
Sorry
like
about that,
streets and
guys.
stuff.
It turns out I got scammed by Uber.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's definitely a combination between like what happened in like college, like all like what happened in college and all that crap getting pushed in society usually, and the normalization of
Yeah,
it on like social media and stuff.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I guess just normalization and things just going a bit too far. But I also want to think that maybe some of them know that, I think they want to use this thing about about being gay as a way to be immune to any sort of criticism. You know, you can't talk against a gay guy because, then you'll be called a homophobic and any other words, and any argument can be shut down. I think that's also what happened, but I'm just shooting shit around. But I don't want to be that much of an armchair historian. But maybe I'm taking a bit more of a page out of the short fought otaku. How this is all about a power play for people who just want to win. just want to be on the top.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't know. I don't know shit anymore. Like I don't even know what to know anymore. These times, you know.
I prefer Alex Jones' conspiracy theory that this is all part of the New World Order to the communist space elf lizard. Yeah, on the other hand,
Uh,
at this point, about how many times he was right, he might just be correct on this one as well.
at least it makes more sense than this. Like you
Yeah.
can't call anyone anything. Yes, you need to call them anything you want, anything they need you to call them, and even so, they can even just outright ban you because they felt like it. Things don't make sense anymore. They just stop making sense for a while.
I'm of the opinion
Like,
society never made sense. It's just that as we grow up, we are able to make sense that it doesn't make sense. If I'm
yeah,
putting it correctly.
I guess so. Like, I'm fucking baffled after after what's happening with. Uh, I hope I don't want to shift too many arguments about anything, but I wanted to talk like how there's a fucking hysteria about the war in the Ukraine and Russia, how people are just going around another big organization and just removing any Russian name, especially the most important one, which I'm sure you saw, like you know Yuri, whatever his name was, the first man in space. They removed this name from NASA, from
Hmm.
basically the record of him being the first man to exit orbit, to be in
Yuri
space.
Gargan? That man?
Yep, Yuri Gagarin.
Hmm. Why did they
They removed.
remove
They
it?
removed. He was Russian because apparently he was Russian and he didn't say anything about the Russian regime, even though he's dead. The same thing. The same thing when a university in Milan, in my in my fucking uh, in my own not state. Pardon. I was just saying it's something that was on the loan server that it was posted. It's they banned Dostoevsky from a university library in Milan, and they basically just said as an excuse, "Oh, he didn't say anything about the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, even though he was dead for years." That, this is the kind of shit that just drives me up a fucking wall. How people just follow this whole concept of the times and do whatever the fuck they please and pleasure just to please the times, not thinking of the greater picture.
Yeah.
Anybody got the clown music?
Lone, can you bring up the clown music? Honestly, it'll probably make things better.
Uh,
Hey,
one sec.
everything fucking sucks. Like, I'm gonna say this to everyone. Shit is gonna suck even harder, even in the longer run. Like, there's gonna be a fucking economical crisis that it's gonna be comparable to the one in the 1930s. You're gonna be you're gonna be forced to do some nefarious shit if you're gonna keep up a good lifestyle. You're gonna need to scam people out of their money to be able to keep up a good lifestyle. Like that's what's gonna happen. You know, all their wives are gonna prostitute themselves to richer guys so they can get enough bread to bring home. There's gonna be a lot of people trying to look for a job, but nobody has a property anymore or doesn't want to slave away at what's basically gonna be slave labor at the megacorps. That's gonna happen. The big megacorps like Amazons or other shit like that. Uh, it's gonna be the same shit. Just because people wanted to fuck with a few prices and the supply chain, especially because they want to fuck with gas prices. Same thing.
Gas prices even more? How? In California, some stations are already $8 per gallon.
More. It's gonna go up even more. Just to
70s.
for, just to force those to use those filthy gas cars to buy those, the good ones, the electric ones, because because that makes them good. You can't afford them. Well, I'm sorry, but you'll have to do it. That's the way. That's the plan, bigot. Go to work. Make enough money to get that car, bigot.
Well, the funny thing is, with all these people saying, "Oh, haha, eat it, you conservatards," you can't use your gas guzzling machine anymore. Most people who use gas are usually on the forward side, so this is fucking the lowest classes of people the
Don't
most.
care. We're bigots. They're bigots. They don't care about us. Eat the rich. They don't care about us.
I mean, fine,
See,
eat the rich, but that if you're just gonna replace them, then what's the point?
eat the
You're
rich,
just
but
stalling
them.
at that point. You're just stalling.
They want to be the rich. This is nothing but a ploy for them. It's all a way to gentrify their way. Not really gentrify. It's just a way to ride these, more. What's the word? They're more populist movement. They come from the populace that feel more like a struggle. You know, there's a way of the populace to basically just use them as tools. They write them off until they get into power and then tell them to fuck off. It's always the same thing. You know, I think it was also the same thing in the way, kind of like it was with the Tea Party before. You know how the
You
Tea
mean it
Party was
started off with
before?
good intentions and then it just devolved into basic bitch politics?
Yep, it just turned into a den of neoconservatives who are basically behave the same way as the neoliberals and just are there all for the fucking money, all for their own profit. And if it's not for their own profit, they're going to push it back any way they can. And if they create a problem, promise they're gonna to resolve these new problems because they are the ones in power. They're going to solve it. They're not gonna, or at least just put a band-aid on it, and that's it.
They'll solve the problem for themselves. They'll fuck off to probably like Singapore or Sweden and just live the glorious life of a asshole billionaire.
Like, is Sweden getting better? Like, I've had a few friends of mine go, like some guys that came into my class go up to Sweden, and none of that shit happened. You know, all the migrants just fucking up everything, throwing grenades into police stations. It didn't. It said it didn't see anything. Cause I like,
Uh,
and he was like in big cities, because that's where the big universities that get you know offshore students for this short period of time. Say that shit
well,
didn't happen.
here's the thing: universities and tourist towns are from the same, same group. Usually, they are what the country wants to prop themselves up to be. So
Hmm.
I don't think he's really going to experience that in universities and like tourist towns. Now, if he goes to some major cities that are like, uh,
Like Malmo.
yeah, then maybe,
Hmm. That would explain it.
yeah.
Hmm. All right. I mean, I've also, I've also gone to, I've also gone to other places when I was in high school because of, especially for my English degrees. For me, just to get a piece of paper that says you can speak English correctly. It's some stuff from the Oxford University, so I can just speak better. And I went to Ireland. It was rather calm there. I mean, for obvious reasons. It's Ireland. Nobody ever wants to go to Ireland.
The IRA's there.
We
When
also
you
went.
bomb a car and 10 kids die, but one British soldier gets it. Hell yeah!
That's a win in the. Hell yeah, that's a win in the book. Fuck those Brits. They deserve it. Free and United Ireland forever.
Just without the kids.
It's always a win in their book. It's about a matter of perspective, really.
The Irish
Oh,
free
yeah,
like potatoes.
Then I also went to. I think it was Hungary. Yeah, I think it was Hungary. Yeah, Hungary. That extremely corrupt country in Eastern Europe. That place was shit.
Extremely poor country in Eastern Europe. You're going to have to be a bit more specific than that, man.
You just said it was Hungary.
It's an extremely corrupt country in the Eastern Europe. That's Hungary. Like, there's a video from Kraut that basically just tells how they were using their influence on basically being the bastion of the new right, while they were basically the most corrupt bitches that ever existed in this place. Like, it's something you have to see to believe how corrupt and how buddies everyone is at a government. How everybody just, you know.
Well, power corrupts, and what's more sorry, what's more powerful than government, other than deep government, which is like CIA and shit like that.
Yeah. But I mean, I also went to Slovenia. That was also a good place in the main city. Like, there was close to nothing. Place was calm, serene. Like, that was their central city. It's beautiful. I think Slovenia was probably, yeah, it's probably like one of the few countries that are allied with the Czech Republic, who just told them to just kind of stuck up to communism when there was, when the Berlin Wall fell. Even during the 80s, there were great rebellions. Like, compared to Slovenia, the Czech Republic didn't do any fighting compared to most of them. You know that?
I did not.
How? Yep, the Czech Republic just was extremely peaceful all over it. Just peaceful. There was nothing too violent, nothing, no blood. They made it out of communism without all that violence or repression or anything, just through political debate and actual discussions. Like, that was actually really fucking impressive. It's one of the few things that I like to study about the Balkans and these other regions, because, well, I'm just a sea away from them, if I gotta say that.
For those of you who don't know, our good friend here is from Italy.
Yep, and I'm literally facing Bosnia, Croatia, and Albania. Disgusting. A wretched place that I would not suggest you guys to visit.
God
Chad,
damn Albanians.
Chad, I'm pretty sure most of our chat already knows Alex is Italian. Like, I already did like a highlight of Alex literally telling me about the years of lead, which is the Italian state in politics that happened over the course of a couple years.
I'd say about 5-7 years to be more precise, but
Yeah.
that's about it. You guys go do your own research. I'm pretty sure Wikipedia also is a fairly respectable source, even though it deals a lot with communism and socialism. But they can't hide the dead bodies. They can't hide the fucking ex-prime minister who got shot. That was all over the news.
Wait, the prime minister got shot?
Ex-prime minister. The day he stepped down, they got up, they walked up to him, killed his whole squad that was defending him, kidnapped him for close around a week, and did the classical hostage situation by just sending them like an ear, finger or something, just to even photos of him in the background of the in the background there was also the flag of the Red Brigades. Just keep giving them weird proposal on just destroy the whole government and bring back socialism like we did back in the 1920s. You know, because here in Italy, communism was socialism back in the 1920s. That was really going strong. That's why Italy has this tendency on socialism on some parts.
Then
But
it led to Benito Mussolini.
because fascism isn't that far from socialism if you did your research.
Yeah, it's the horseshoe theory, right? That the extreme ideologies all loop back on one another.
It's not really that a horseshoe theory. It's more like a descending from the idea of socialism that basically just ends up from more likely having more power to the state than just the power to the people. More like eventually just ends up the same way. You guys holding power, secret police, people being oppressed the fuck out of them, and just shit like this happening. It's always the same. It's always the same.
In the end, who was the guy who said that history repeats itself? It's 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 just really funny that it's repeating itself so quickly.
We are just repeating the same errors, not that history just repeats itself over and over. Just the same mistake that people don't want to acknowledge. And that's what really upsets me.
Yeah.
You mean George Santayana? Is that what you're quoting, or are you quoting Nietzsche?
No, I don't think Nietzsche said that.
He said time's a
I
flat
studied-
circle.
Repeats itself.
Yeah, that's
I don't
George
think Nietzsche
Santayana.
said that.
Nietzsche said time's
a-
a flat circle.
I'll go with Nietzsche because I read.
No,
research,
well, the
so.
guy who said those who do not history are destined to repeat is George Santayana.
Yeah, that was him.
Spanish philosopher.
Never studied much about Spain, so that explains about it. Yeah, I study Nietzsche, and it's not that negative as a lot of people want to say it. The whole thing about God is dead is more like something more personal to you dies, because for him, it was a constant state of finding yourself over and over again, or what
No,
you
man, I
really
want to be
are.
an atheist. So, no, God is dead. Haha. I understand Nietzsche. Yes, I have seen the memes.
Good for you.
This is the kind of people that only need to work like the most low menial job because they can't use their brain for longer than 5 seconds, or just say words with more than 3 syllables, 4 tops. I despise them.
I think most people do.
Yeah,
But
probably used to be one when I
what
was
can you
a
do?
kid. Yeah, what can you do?
Fear says something interesting in chat. What's about Bosnia? They have Muslim Serbs and Croatians in it. What their ideologies were.
What, in Croatia and Bosnia?
Yeah, Fear said something in chat.
It was most likely just people getting their independence, but then there was this huge problem in the Balkans. If I remember correctly, after the Second World War, you know how Europe was split in two between the East and the West.
Yeah.
The East, of course, was highly under communist influence, and not all of it was the USSR. I think it was mostly from Estonia, still keeping Poland, Slovakia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure almost all of it was was under the USSR influence, but most of these other places were more like a cushion state, keeping that old ideology back from the First World War to create other different regions and nations with different ideology and everything, so they could fight an entire war for you without ever sending your men, basically creating cushion states. So the war never comes near you. That was their idea. Unfortunately, shit doesn't work like that. So all these other places just wanted to have better standards of living, and once the USSR started falling around the first half of the 1990s, everyone started to finally break free of their chains and create their own states. From Estonia, Lithuania, Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, Romania, and then we come to the Balkan region. From near Montenegro, Macedonia, Serbia, Bosnia and Slovenia, and all around these regions, even including, I think, a part of Hungary. I don't remember if Hungary was in this. They all became the great Yugoslavia. I don't know the whole name of it. Hold on, let me turn on the computer because I was on the phone for this. I gotta do some of this research. But yeah, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia. Yeah, I think these regions. I don't think Hungary joined. They all decided to join into a big nation called fuck. The name slipped my mind right there. Yugoslavia, which is basically just an entire state made by the Slavic people for the Slavic people. But then, of course, things kind of went awry after a while.
Yugoslavian war, war crimes, shit ton of them.
Yep, lots and lots and lots of war crimes, as many as far as the eye could see, because for the Croatians, these were Slavs. Serbians were not people. For the Serbians, they weren't people. So why should they care what horrible things they would do to them? They were not people. That's their logical reasoning about that. Hold on, let me do a little bit of research. Yep. Apparently Yugoslavia included Slovenia. I was right. And I think it included a part of Hungary as known as Moldovania. Or was it? It's Romania, Serbia. They had Macedonia, Kosovo, and Montenegro too. They kept the fucking Albanians away, but yeah, they wanted to have more racial purity, so they started to, what happened. They started with all those war crimes, basically committing genocides because fuck those Muslims. Their words, not mine. And you all know the memes.
Vincent joined us.
Tavern joined.
Hey, Vincent.
Just talk. Hey, bro. What's up?
Sorry, nobody gave out the notification that this happened. Like, I was like, oh, I had to check because I was like, oh, what's going on?
Oh,
It's 10 o'clock.
I tried adding you earlier. I think. Let me scroll up. Yeah. I added you, asking you if you were gonna make it this time.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I tend to ignore everything.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Yugoslavia fell apart. Slovenia got the best outcome. Yeah, Slovenia got really the best outcome out of that. Not a best. Yeah, Slovenia has really done for well. I went there in my last trip in high school. Like, that was my last trip, and that place was fucking pristine. Like, I don't want to shit on anything, but that place was pristine. The streets were clean. Everything was so neatly organized and pure. And their fucking street food was top shit. Like, I could have eat that thing for days and not even fell sick. It was that good. Jesus.
What was this?
It was Slovenia. Like, if you want to go to an actual part of, of the Balkans or Eastern Europe, go to Slovenia. That place is majestic. I'd recommend that shit 10 out of 10.
All right, I'll give that a try.
Also, you gotta go see the castle in the middle of a lake. Like, there's a whole ass castle / monastery that is built inside. That was only on a small ass island in the middle of a lake. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a good time in there. Then I had to move to Hungary, unfortunately. Like I was in a hotel where under there was also a nightclub where they basically just blasted music all night long and all day long too. Kind of felt the small tinge of alcohol permeate around. The rooms were fancy though. But I always heard the police sirens going on like one each hour from my hotel room. I always heard them going wild from one place to another. Pineapple on pizza? Trench, why the fuck do you brought this heresy upon me? How the fuck dare you bring such heresy?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, wouldn't the acidic nature of pineapple destroy the pizza crust and all that, and just it's just stupid.
If you eat pineapple on pizza, I'm sorry, but you are degenerate.
Yeah, so my mom's a degenerate. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
They're not degenerate. They just committed heresy. There's still salvation for them. Let them eat pure pizza without that
The
pepperoni
Emperor's
shit.
Mercy is the only salvation they'll get. Oh.
And eat the right pizza and the taco on Tuesdays.
I mean,
I'm not allowed to say that, but GW's asshole levels of copyright policy.
I mean, Taco Tuesday, dude. I live with Mexicans. Like, they take that shit seriously.
So tacos are always on Tuesdays?
And every other day if you want. It doesn't matter.
Best Taco Tuesday, the one that doesn't matter.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Yes, you should play music for this. Now let me get rid of this.
No,
There we
okay,
go.
I'm just asking like chat because because usually for the chill chats I play stuff in the background, and for these I don't. I think it'd be better if I do it for both, So
Yeah, just put
yeah,
something
definitely
nice.
playing jazz behind the thing for now on, so it doesn't sound like dead air.
Maybe because Hawaiian pizza is a Canadian invention.
I thought it was
Nah.
Californian.
Depends on who you
Only
ask.
I have to look that up. I have to look up
What
where that
the
originated.
fuck is bourbon and buffalo chicken pizza?
Okay, bourbon.
What's bourbon?
Bourbon is a type of alcohol.
Yeah, bourbon's alcohol.
Like whiskey.
So wait,
Well, maybe good way.
they just pour.
Like whiskey.
Yeah,
So
that's
basically
possible.
they
Yeah,
make
maybe.
the sauce.
Whiskey's an alcohol.
It's saying like
Pour it on the pizza?
vodka's like Smirnoff,
So wait, they just pour bourbon on the
That was stupid.
pizza?
No, they mix bourbon in with the sauce.
That honestly sounds something we could make if it mixes well with the sauce. That I could accept because, we're also the same guy who do the corrected coffee here. Just with a bit of bourbon barbecue sauce is as the base. Oh, it's a barbecue sauce.
You guys use
Well-
barbecue sauce? I use straight bourbon. Like, what?
Depends on the sauce. Depends on the meat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, please, some of that bourbon.
Use the animation. That is to moving, scaling, and rotating subjects specific world frames.
As I said, Alex is a good setup if you remember Tifa. Oh no, she might not be there anymore. I think there's been some elections. She's gone. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Things are not
Mussolini's
the same.
granddaughter running for the Socialist Party. That was the funniest shit ever.
What?
Excuse me.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, when did this happen? When did this happen?
I think it was fairly recent, but she never got much traction.
Yeah, because nobody gives a shit about her. The only thing we care about her and we see her is just she goes on talk shows and starts screaming at people.
Yes, Alessandra Mussolini, and she is part of. Oh wait, no, hang on. I'm sorry. She's not part of the Socialist Party. She's part of Forza Italia. It's a center-right.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
center-right
So
party.
she's basically a neo. She's basically the neocon.
Yeah.
Fucking great. So
Yeah.
let me tell you something about the Italian parties, or at least the more irrelevant one.
First off, you should probably tell us how the system works. So, unlike here in America, we have two main parties and a bunch of sub-parties that basically, don't do anything. It's the two parties we're choosing from. However, in Italy, from
We
my
don't
understanding, you guys have multiple parties all on equal footing, right?
Yes and no. We basically have a certain degree that if they don't go around 3%, I think it was that. That's the percentage of the total votes. If they don't go over 3%, they don't count. Or around 5%. That's the level they should reach. We have, from the most notable parties in here, we have, of course, them divided by either left or right lean, or more governative to populist reforms. We have we have Forza Italia, which that's what you said. It's basically just the center-right party, basically comparable to the more Rhino-like of the Republicans. It is guided, and he was, and I say in big quotes, was guided by basically a huge TV mogul that is also probably Italy's biggest investor, and basically Italy's version of Trump, but gone bad. That being Silvio Berlusconi. Berlusconi is basically a huge womanizer son of a bitch. The man is so fucking rich. He has a fucking miniature volcano that has never let anyone take pictures of it, and own an entire football team, European football, soccer as you'd call it. He still owns the majority of basically an entire TV network, Mediaset, which, it basically has 3 of the most popular channels other than the RAI channels. It's RAI, which is basically just state-owned TV, or at least state-backed TV.
So it's like the BBC in Britain, it's like, you gotta pay your TV license.
It's the same thing. It's basically Italy's version of the BBC, but we have more channels. It's not as communistic as the others, but it's basically what old people watch. That's basically what they're relegated as.
So it's exactly like the BBC.
Guess the stereotype is always the same. Didn't know that. Anyway, going back on that way, that guy was also caught just with underage prostitutes around 15 to 16 years old and doing coke on their asses in Arcore, a town in northern Italy. He was caught red-handed, or at least I don't think it was caught red-handed, but some of the prostitutes have.
You basically had an EDP moment where it was basically like, I'm just here to get cupcakes, guys. Is that what you're talking about? Like something like that?
In a way, yes and no. The things have been muddled for a long time. It has been going for more than 10 years. So the informations are a bit muddled in my mind. But I'll come back on you guys later. But yeah, this guy is still quote unquote heading the party. We all hate him and we take him as a joke. Oh yeah, also one time he called Merkel a fucking whore.
Based.
It's yeah, all Italians thought that, but yeah. Also, was very popular with the Italians back in the 90s because of some ads, and even in the early 2000s before shit went bad. Around the 2010s, that's when shit went really bad. Then other than that, then on the same right, we'll keep it on the right, then we'll move to the left. We have the League, or Lega, or as they were known, Lega Nord, the Northern League, which at first they were an extremely, what's the word, separatist party who wanted to divide Italy in two. A place in the north where the proud northern people would keep away from the filthy Terronis, also known as basically mudmen, that were from the south, thinking they were basically stealing all their jobs, all their everythings, because here in Italy there's a big divide, especially in the more economical way, from the north to the south. So yeah, they're basically a huge separatist party. Think it more like if the Dixies were more stuck up, and you know, it was actually the guys up there in Washington D.C. and Boston. Think it more like that. Then after a while, this guy Salvini, who was basically their new party head, and more likely the front man, decided to expand this whole thing and his whole propaganda to be more of an Italy first than anything, moving to include all of Italy into a huge right-wing party. And you know, that was mostly a time when there were a lot of migrants just coming in by boatload after boatload and flooding basically every place with as many migrants as they could from African nations. You remember those times, right?
Yeah. See, migration, it wasn't the problem. It was the illegal migration. That's the thing. You just didn't know who was coming in.
Yep.
And that's actually a pretty big issue security-wise.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, let's have
yeah,
a bunch of people cross the desert and then, you know, die and then get blamed for something that we couldn't control.
Yep. And then not to account, there may also been some deals with the other mafias that were going around there, between the Nigerian mafia and also our southern mafia. We're probably doing deals, probably transporting probably using a few of them as drug mules, prostitutes, younger prostitutes, and just work slaves and even fucking work slaves to put them into little ghetto trash towns to make them work in their tomato fields. Literal plantation, and pay them $1 or $2 each hour, or better pay them $1 or $2 each day, or how many crates of tomatoes they were filling. And I mean like industrial size milk crate. Shit was going wild. And of course there was the whole refugees welcome and everything from the European Union, y'all know that. And it was basically just, let's shut down these fucking borders and let's not let these immigrants back in until we get things going. Of course that was very divisive, they called him a racist, they called him everything. Shit kept going, and people of course were getting pretty divided on this argument. He was on government for a little while, things were going kinda fine. People went fucking mad when one of the guys was basically I think it was as what he set up as a ministry for the a ministry for the of foreign affairs was basically an anti-Europeist. Everyone just fucking went mad about it, because an anti-Europeist. Should we really trust them? Is they gonna cause another fucking Brexit?
How is Brexit going? Is it still going?
I think they're done. They're out. But they're still gonna throw.
Yeah, from what I heard,
What?
After I heard Sargon and Dank left, it just kind of became like dead.
Yeah. Well, you can thank Sargon.
Brexit
He basically killed that political party.
No, I mean it happened. Britain is now not connected anymore to Europe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Sargon still killed the UKIP party.
Yeah, but let's not get away from that. I'm still talking about the other political parties. Things went on. Salvini now is basically the most boomer ass political candidate that you could ever think of. Like, he constantly posts on Facebook. He just tries to appeal so hard to everyone that he really looks like a fucking scumbag, and he probably is. Then on something slightly righter, there's Fratelli d'Italia, or Brothers of Italy, which is much more right-leaning. People tend to call them fascist for some reason, because, they tend to call the more right-wing just fascist outright, because, some of them may have supported Mussolini in a way or another, jokingly or probably opening, like one of them. So now they're going with that joke. Brothers of Italy is more known because of what was their name? Meloni. That was the name of that woman, which was basically the party head. Francesca Meloni. Yeah. She's more known to basically scream at people and being extremely right-wing about things. Basically no abortions, because they're basically, she's anti-abortion, anti-everything, but they tend to go on it in the more dumb way you could ever think of, because they can't organize for shit. But if they had more presentable people and more presentable things, to be fair, they'd probably be the best right-wing party. But unfortunately, they don't have on their bigger faces that isn't Meloni, that constantly keeps screeching her name. That she's Meloni, and that's what I stand for. Just imagine that. So, like, a politician there in the U.S. that does shit like that.
Fuck. The bug-eyed bitch.
Well,
What would that be?
Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot.
Guys, this has been fun, but I gotta go. I got things to do. It's been an honor being here. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still gonna finish. Yeah.
I might rejoin later. We'll see. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep talking about the political parties for about 10 more minutes, and then probably we'll move on to something else.
Okay.
Right. It's done. And I was there talking about Brothers of Italy. They've got some other smaller right-wing parties, and then we go to the real extreme ones, and that being Casa Pound, which are straight up fascists. Like, straight up, they're fascists. They want to bring back the good old days of the Duce and everything, or a political system close to that. And their bigger things is that they're actual thugs going around and occupying buildings. Like, their biggest Capitol building was something they've occupied since, I think it was the 80s. I think it was the 80s. They've occupied that place, and only recently, like 1 or 2 years, they have cleared it away thanks to the police efforts because, yeah, they were kind of getting tiring after a while. They're constant talking about bringing back Mussolini's empire or something. It's stupid. Nobody gives a shit about these socialists. They're still socialists.
Like
Call them that, and
Antifas.
basically, they're doing semi-similar operation, but they're more fascist. They're more hush-hush quiet about it.
Yeah.
And then now we finally go to the left-leaning side, in which we have the Democratic Party. It's simply called the PD, Partito Democratico, Democratic Party, which is it's more likely center-left than anything. So they're basically statist bitches who just want to keep the status quo. They're not that notable. They're pretty fucking boring. But the guy who headed the party, this Matteo Renzi, was he was popular for being the guy who wanted to, work with the people and everything. Until the crisis came back and he decided to give away something to the people, some money from their pockets. Guess how big was the stimulus for actual blue-collar working classes who had a job during a crisis? Guess how much he gave them?
A sloppy second? Like, I don't fucking know.
Give me an actual number of money.
Yeah, about 350.
Lower.
Oh wow.
Give me a number of lumber.
$20.
20? No, think higher.
Yeah. 22.
80 bucks. 80
80
bucks.
What?
80 bucks. During the 2007 crisis. I think it was around 2011, I think. 80 bucks, figure yourself out for those who still had a job, when basically there were massive layouts happening left and right. He just said, here's 80 bucks, have fun. People were pissed at him and how also his government was trying to give pensions a higher basically give a higher age to actually get your state-owned pension. I think it went from 83 years old to 87 years old, or 85. Oh. And that really fucked up a lot of people's plan for the future because of their pensions. There were riots because of this, and the fucking banks. Because of course they were denied, because some people during that day, they were also supposed to get their their retirement checks and all that shit. That threw a gigantic monkey. That threw a gigantic wrench in their gears, and I don't know. I can't really articulate with these vernaculars right now. But you know what I'm saying. His government has been a fucking mistake. It did some extreme fuck ups other than raising taxes. That was shit. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It was shit living there. Then of course there was an actual unvoted government because some things happened. They put I don't know how you call it, but it's basically just a government that has been placed upon because of times of crisis, so we didn't even got a vote into it. And then what else happened? Yeah, basically after that he decided to still run again at the same party, but after a while he started to have conflicts with the others and created his own party, which I'm gonna talk about, is Italia Viva. Basically, Hooray Italia. It's another left-leaning party, definitely more on the socialist side, but it's still left, not really socialist. It average left. more like actual democratic. It's not popular because he's in there, and a lot of unpopular people are in there, so they just treat it as a joke. Because nobody respects Renzi anymore. Nobody. Then there's the European Party, Più Europa, or Europa Più. It's basically just, I don't need to translate it, right? It's basically a gigantic Europeist party, and the party head was this wizened old hag who was known back in the 70s to do abortions, basically home to home. And I guess there was also a big photo popular of her doing an abortion with a fucking bike pump back in the 70s. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, those are the most European, globalist, basically globe homo assholes you could ever met in this political party. Nobody, and they're not that popular because we all know that Europe is just gonna fuck us in the ass harder, even than now, because apparently we all have to be at the same standard of those fucking Germans who, really, they're going to shit right now because of their constant Green Party ass fuckery. Nobody wants them. Who wants to be a German? Not me.
I'm part German, so.
Yeah, I mean more like in the political way, not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you have some guys in Germany, like on your German side, you keep in contact, it sucks.
Yeah.
The Green Party is a fucking joke that doesn't even deserve to be in power. They're just socialists. And then we have the actual Communist and Socialist Party, who are still living on to this day. They're not that popular, because nobody cares. And then the Populist Party, who back in the day had been on both sides, like it was neutral, center party, that basically just said, we're here for the people. You know, whatever you want, we'll get to you. Higher races, higher everything. You know, basically just removing the power away from the government and giving it more to the people. I guess it could have been more socialist inclined, but it was more populist than, to be fair. That was the 5-Star Party, or the movement, or the 5-Star Movement. Is it translated? The head of the party was a comedian, a literal fucking comedian. Then later was basically said that yeah, he's definitely a socialist. Like he was a hard-carrying socialist, but their publicity stunt was going greater because they were there for the farmers, they were there for the workers, and they were actually doing a lot of things for them, even more in the more, more in the regional city, like, you know, they were actually there, actually doing it, so they had a lot of good publicity behind them, mostly because it was a platform for other good mayors and I think it was more like county regulators, basically just doing a good job. That was basically their publicity stunt.
Yeah. Your
And then later, what?
Comedians know what a fucking joke is.
Yeah, but then after a while, he just kind of lost it and just developed more into socialism, and people don't. It just got more fucky as time went on. And now one of their party heads is a guy who barely got out of junior high and does a fuck ton of spelling errors. And yeah, he's not the most qualified for the job. But he has a presentable face and has been endorsed by the comedian Pepe Grillo. That was his name. And the guy who's been endorsing was this guy named Luigi Di Maio. Yep. He's not the best. Like he's not that smart. But I guess he's there for the people. I suppose he's the party head. it usually, for issues, it usually goes from left to right to left to just overall center. There's everyone. It's basically the everything but everything under the kitchen sink type of party. If you don't know where to go, just go to the 5-star movement, and that can cause some infighting. For this obvious reason, because there's guys who won more right-leaning ways, and some who won more left-leaning ways, and some who other just want to do whatever the fuck they want. That's also the party where, if you guys remember about the Costa Concordia incident, that's where Admiral DeFalco went, the guy who told Schettino to go back on board. That's where he went. And I think he's still there.
I'm trying to eat a snack.
Neat. I had my snack a few hours ago. Now it's close to dinner time. Like, what time is that, you guys?
For me, it's like 10:59.
5:59?
10:59. 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. Yeah, you live more on the western side.
Yeah.
Neat. These are all the political parties that I could... that are basically more important here in Italy, if everyone wanted to sit through this boring slag of anything. It's not... No, Trench, it's not Luigi Di Mario. It's Luigi Di Maio. M-I-M-A-I-O.
Yeah,
And
Mario.
yeah, the Young Turks support Ukraine. They don't know that Ukraine had 38% of neo-Nazi in it. As Putin accused Ukraine too, Russia had neo-Nazi. Yeah, that was the thing. That was the thing that happened. Like, actually, you know, Fierce has wanted to put it up to. Yeah, there's a fuck ton of neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Especially some who are more militant, like the Azov battalion. Those guys wanted to go the old ways of Benito, like hard. And now there's war. Everyone closes their eyes on them because you don't want to upset those guys who actually are a military prepared militia who knows everything about Russia and everything. You don't want to scurvy off such a great ally, don't you? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. should get involved with what's happening between Ukraine and Russia. It's not our thing.
As long as they wanted to say, all this gas thing wouldn't have happened if we just shut the fuck up and just say, yeah, this war is not good, that's it.
Yeah, but no, if we had our own gas lines, maybe we wouldn't have such, gas
You guys would have been good because... Yeah, you guys would have been good because you guys, especially in the southern side between Texas and Arizona, you have so much oil that you ironically would go for centuries without even buying.
Oh yeah,
without even buying but a drop from any other country. Well, for us, we're shit out of luck because we have no oil. We don't have any sort of natural resources of oil. Or small ones that could probably be dry in about 5 to 10 years. So that was kind of shit for us. But the sheer thing is, we could have honestly also gone with nuclear energy, but because of some dumb reforms and people being scared of Chernobyl happening again, we just run a referendum and just say no more nuclear power right around all of Europe. From France, Germany, Spain, and Italy. We all just said fuck nuclear power and we just started to slowly shut down all nuclear power plants. I don't know if Italy there is one or not, but yeah, in Germany they shut them all down. And guess what happened? Just later.
No power.
Nope. The prices start to go all the way up, and the power started to be more scarce. There wasn't enough to power everything, because this is going to be probably the third time that I say on these streams, the current quote unquote green ways of
Energy.
yeah, basically green energy are not super reliable unless you're talking about hydraulic power. But Germany doesn't have all those big rivers.
Just build one.
And-
Make your own rivers. Make a man-made river. Then bam, done. Dune.
That'll cost a lot more to do that, and then also to build a dam over it. It'll cost billions and basically send everything into bankrupt. You can't do that. That's why it works better in some other countries, like with big rivers or big waterfalls, like the Niagara Dam or something like that, right next to basically the biggest waterfall in the world, or even the Colorado River.
Yeah,
with
which
Hoover
has the
Dam,
Hoover-
the
In Boulder
biggest
City.
dam in the world. What?
In Boulder City.
Yep. Basically all this, they can basically provide all the power to California, Arizona, and the whole state of Nevada, even including Las Vegas, with all the electricity they use, especially in Las Vegas. They can still have a bit of reserve with that. That is the scale how hydroelectric power is it can reach that level. But unfortunately,
It's so bad with the Hoover Dam that California is demanding more power from it. Like, we want more power. Arizona's not using all of it. I was like, yeah, because we're not fuckheads.
and ironically, that's gonna cause the price to go even higher. That's the same thing that I met a guy from the server that was from Nevada. They say they hate California because not only they're stealing their power, they're also stealing their water reserves, because they gotta water all their fancy almonds and avocado plantations, because those need a lot of water, and California doesn't have a lot of it. So they just keep dumping more and more and more and more water into it, so much so that some farmers are starting to go dry because California just keeps stealing it.
It's stupid. Like, we're losing
California is
agriculture.
stupid. California is stupid. Yeah, we can all agree on that. But as I was saying about other green powers, hydroelectric is that good. But unfortunately, you only have so many rivers that you can use.
Yeah. Why not just use Niagara Falls as a hydroelectric dam generator? Put it
They're
behind
doing
the
that.
waterfall.
They're
Oh,
doing
awesome.
that, but more upstream. But that falls into the territory of Canada. So there's also that little dispute, because the Niagara Falls is right between the state of, I think it's Michigan, and also just goes straight into Canada. So that's the big
Canada.
problem. Unfortunately, it's between the borders. You can't do much about it unless probably invade Canada and take back
We
back
did that.
piece.
Fallout would be correct. The annex of California. Canada.
Next of Canada, like in fucking Fallout. We're just missing the bombs right now. While we're at it.
Talking about, I've been collecting bottle caps in case I ever have to die and all that. I can find just like, hey, check out this safe I have, and it's gonna be like a 200-euro Coke and some fucking bottle caps and a bobby pin.
Gonna close
Put a
in.
gun in there.
Gonna
Might as
close
well
in
make
20
it extremely
minutes.
worth it.
What'd you say, Lo?
I'm gonna close in 20 minutes. All right.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Oh no, it's the state of New York. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not Michigan. It's New York State between the Niagara Falls. So it's been stolen by Buffalo, basically. So go blame Buffalo. Yeah, so we're saying that about hydroelectric energy. Let's move over to the other big twos: solar and wind power. Tell me, the
Solar
think
is not as
solar-
reliable as people think it is, because with here in Arizona, you have to specifically design the crystals to withstand 100 degrees temperature.
Yep. High
So
temperatures are highly difficult to keep in charge unless they're more rough, like smeltering.
Yeah, no,
But
no.
this is something more.
It gets so hot here that our trash cans melt.
Wow.
You know, those big old plastic, indestructible ones that you can ram with a car and it just kind of flops around. Yeah,
Yeah?
they melt here.
How?
It gets that hot. Like 2 years ago, it was 120 degrees.
Put it in Celsius, please.
Hold on. Alexa, what's 120 degrees Fahrenheit into Celsius?
120 degrees Fahrenheit is about 48.9 degrees Celsius.
There you go. Almost 50 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius.
Jesus Christ, that's almost water would start to boil at that point.
Water did boil. Tires were melting.
Wait, you're in Arizona. Doesn't it also have fucking Death Valley of everything?
That's in California. California is the second hottest place, third hottest. It's Death Valley, Sahara Desert, and then Arizona.
Christ alive! How do people even live in there?
I don't know. I will tell you of how we're just like heat. Yeah, no.
Well, at least you provide the copper for the nation, that's all.
We do.
At least. Yeah, at least that's going well. So yeah, I guess that's also a thing, and not all year it's a sunny and a perfect condition to capture all that electricity, because summer, yes, it's sunny all day, close to no clouds. That's the perfect condition. But what happens when September and October come around? What happens?
It gets kind of warm. Like the other day, like our nights, we get freezing, like 54 degrees Fahrenheit, which would probably be like 20 degrees Celsius.
But also, what else happens to the day and night cycles?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just.
Days get
Okay.
shorter. During those times of the year, there's excuse me.
I mean, we're really weird here in Arizona. We don't do daylight savings time.
Wait, you don't?
No, we don't.
You just keep getting hours over every day.
Yeah, we don't change our clocks. Period.
All right, I guess that works. Cause
Oh.
all right. But as I was saying, the more after September, or usually after basically the solar equinox, I think that's how you say.
Winter solstice.
the solstice, the days slowly start to lose hours until you basically reach the longest night. It's basically how it works with Earth's rotation. These work today. So yeah, basically your days become shorter and the temperatures start to get lower, which also means higher humidity and clouds, even during the day, which means less sunlight. And that's the biggest problem. It works extremely well in the summer, in those warm months, but once autumn starts to roll around, it becomes less reliable. It's seasonal. So as a green source, it doesn't work well at all because of this, because an energy source has to provide all day, every day, by the hour, every week, every month, for as long as we can think. Solar doesn't cover that as well because of the high dependence of the sun.
Oh.
And then we move to wind power. Wind power fucking sucks. Like some of you guys can provide something more about wind power.
So with wind power, it's pretty interesting. They actually do more damage and what they heal. More migration birds die because of them and all that. It's
because birds don't see those giant blades slowly coming at them and chopping them in half, or just cutting off their wings or anything. They don't see them, and so you see a fuck ton of dead birds always around these turbines, windmills. Also, what else they do?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person, dude.
Yeah, cause okay, I gotta bring out my old shit about wind turbines. This happens especially with especially in certain areas, because some of them are not as well produced as other clean energy sources, because they're just put together, slap on a few things. The wind turbines, especially those, they are non-perishable. They cannot be recycled. They're basically special wastes because of their special polymer alloy. They can't decay. So when one breaks, it's a bit of a problem. Also, a lot of their pieces, if they break, they might cause a chain reaction and break all the structure, which sometimes can just blow up because the motors get a bit too charged up and they just like that.
Yeah.
Not to account, they're loud. They are loud because they're inside the turbine. There's a little small electric motor that drives the turbine to spin, and those, if you put around 10 or 20 of those, they get really loud, especially also with the turning of the turbine. And not to account that a lot of those pieces for the wind turbines are made in China, so that's also another problem because China has a big monopoly on the production of wind turbines. And of course, the big environmental things, just shitting up the environment because, you just put this giant pole that just drives inside the ground and kills birds because they don't see those big wind turbines coming at them. And also to parachuters. There's been
Oh.
accidents of them getting chopped, getting hit with the blades and just getting stuck in there. So yeah, wind turbines are not great. Fuck them. Let's go with nuclear, which I've talked too many times on these streams. Right, Lona? How many times did they talk about nuclear? Me just spurging about it.
Yeah.
You don't spurg about it. You become like the mental retardation of it. Like nuclear. Nuclear. We need nuclear. Yeah, but I'm that's a joke. But I understand nuclear power is extremely phenomenal and all that. I mean, I think we have one nuclear power plant here in Arizona, and we barely use it.
And why so? Where do you take all your power if you don't use the nuclear power plant?
I'm just trying to remember if we have one. Like, don't quote me for a fact. Like, yeah, he said we did have one. Yeah, he's.
Let's see if my old Atlant has something like that. Something about environmental power. It's gonna be here somewhere. Yeah, you guys do. You have a handful of them. Like it's
Okay,
right.
thank you.
It's right there through Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. Yeah, you guys have it because they're right next to the. It's right next to Colorado, and yeah, there's two of them that just. One is next to the Colorado River, which could be either right next to Nevada, Utah, or Arizona, and the other one right. What's the other river here? The Rio Grande. I think the other one could be definitely New Mexico or Lower Arizona.
Yeah, Lower Arizona.
Yep. You guys got around 2 or 3 nuclear power plants because I've seen it here.
Yeah, and like I said, and people aren't complaining about it here. We actually we rely on those. Like, we give it to. If I remember correctly, we also help power with that with Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. We have 2 of those, right? The only ever time we do get power outage here is when some asshole fucking drives into.
Power poles.
Thank you.
Oh, what? It just drives so hard it just smashes right through the pole, makes it fall, breaks the line.
Yeah, we got retards here. They don't know how to drive. We also got immigrants here that trying to not learn how to drive and all that. But illegals and all that, they once they ditch a car, they leave. Power line falls onto it, causes like a mini fire and all that. One time, the wind got so bad here, it was going like 80 miles an hour. Buildings were ripped up from the foundation. We lost half our power grid. We had so bad floodings here that we had 18 inches of rain in a day.
My God, when did this happen?
4 years ago.
You got a hurricane sweeping through Arizona?
No, we have the thing called monsoon season.
The what?
Monsoon season. Basically, it just rains, it pours, wind everything. Like our wind, because since we don't have that many mountains around us, the winds get so fast. It's not funny. Like we can get up to 60 miles per hour wind. We can get up to 80 miles per hour. These are hurricane levels, and we don't have hurricanes.
My God. I mean, you guys are literally right next to a Gulf. You literally have both Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico, if you go through,
Yeah, we have the southern hemisphere winds coming in from like Hawaii and California, while the eastern
from the Pacific.
from the Pacific, and we also have the Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, that tornado valley. We get that to us. Like I can look outside right now, and it goes, yeah, it's pretty fucking sunny. It's pretty bright out.
Yeah, could probably see some meteorological map to see more of that. I think I passed that one, yeah.
Oh,
Should
like,
be around here
I think it's
somewhere.
like 80 degrees today. Like, hold on, Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Why is Alexa dude? Was it in a... You gay?
No, I don't like the female voice because it's more, my mom uses it and I want to determine both of ours. And I actually like the dude's voice because it's a lot better. Check this out. Hey Samuel,
Or should I say-
tell me a joke.
What do you call a hobbit with lots of girlfriends? What?
Hey, what?
Samuel L. Jackson.
No. What was the joke? I didn't quite get the last part.
Lord of the Flings.
I need to read Lord of the Rings.
Wait,
Right
no,
now it's
Arizona.
What?
Because of California's demand of our water and our electricity here in Arizona, we actually switched over. A lot of farming communities are selling their properties to big businesses and all that. We had an agriculture near my house, right, where the guy would just really grow crops, right, and sell them, right. He had to sell because of the water situation, and now we're having a fucking warehouse built up right next to it.
Oh, god damn it!
Yeah,
Oh, fucking sucks.
it does. I actually enjoyed that. It was like, oh, this is cool. We have a nice little farm right here, right?
You're gonna go ask for a few greens from time to time.
No, it was like he made wheat. Like the dude growed wheat and corn.
Like actual weed, not like the usual
Wheat.
greens, just weed. Wheat.
Wheat.
That's cool.
And he would sell it to the local farmers for their horses and all that. That's how he made his money. Like where I live, it's a very farming community. That's kind of weird, but
Very rural.
yeah, it's. I live like on
Rural.
the ghetto kind of thing, but I can like walk a mile down that way, and I'm in the farm community side of town. Where I can feed the horses carrots, celeries, and all that. Look at some goats and all that. That's pretty cool, right?
Yep. But now you have just a giant fuck off warehouse, which
Oh yeah, yeah.
who has ordered its construction? Is it probably Amazon?
Or no, Amazon cannot build here
Why?
because they already have
Why
a
not?
warehouse here. We have a main distributor here in Arizona in Lower Buckeye.
Hmm.
And so
What's the
and
warehouse?
I can't. It's a distributor warehouse. Like this is like a big warehouse. It's at least like 3 miles long.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's the main distributor building here in Arizona. We have that here in Lower Buckeye. My best friend used to work there, and they have robots there. That's how big it is.
They also got the wage cage, perhaps.
Yeah, he wasn't making as much money as he is now, which is actually pretty cool. I like that.
Do you think they also employed the wage cage in those?
Most likely, I don't know. I stopped caring
Did they-
about him.
Did they actually use those? Like, the fucking wage cages?
No.
Because that's way too inhumane. The syndicates are probably gonna go ape shit if that thing would pass through. That's just a
The
cake.
only issue that my friend's fiance had with Amazon is that they were so time sensitive. Like, if you clocked out a minute late, you would get a write up.
Fuck me.
Yeah, they were very garnishing of the time hours.
Who are they? Who are they?
The time police.
No, it's we have a joke here in Europe where it's Swiss. They're Swiss because Swiss are precise down to the second, and they would usually get angry if you don't come there by the second. Like,
Oh yeah, I know.
Like they're splitting hair over the fact you were not here by the precise point.
Well, you said you'll be here at 10:30. It's 10:31. Where the fuck are you? I'm literally out the door. You're not in the building. You're late.
Basically.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
no,
all right. Wrap it up, guys.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, it's been fun, guys. I had to go away because I wish I could have been here more, but
Yeah, sorry. It was strange because I didn't receive the notification. I looked at it. Now you added me, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I was out there walking and buying a few things. Just, I was just there with my earbuds, listening back into Lolly's vid about Berserk, 4th part. It's cool.
And we could probably save that for the next podcast of the spurging of Berserk and how Twitter finally discovered it.
They're going to forget about it in about another week. It's not the first time
Until
they've
the
done
next controversial anime comes out. But it was nice talking to you guys. I'm sorry I've been late. I haven't been on recently. It's because I've been fixing.
it. Yeah, it's okay. You've been fixing your bathroom. You're talking about that. It's okay, dude. But anyway, Lone, how about next time we talk more about anime? Like, we all try to bring out some more interesting anime conversation.
Yeah.
I'll
be sure to do that.
That's the main
Yeah.
bulk of it.
Yeah, we can talk about one of our favorite animes next time.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'll
great.
be sure to do that next time.
Well, it's been fun, people.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Smell you later, nerds.